Alright everyone, welcome back. A voice behind me. Before I can turn around, the Knight of the Sword, the Servant Saber, dashes forward.
Saber!
My voice can't even keep up. Saber, already clad in silver, charges towards Kuzuki like a gust of wind.
Omachinasai, Saber.
Caster confronts her with a spell. She recites 5 verses. If Saber is a gust of wind for completing 10 meters in a breath, then Caster must be lightning for casting a spell even faster. A bolt of lightning from a raging storm. 5 bullets of light are shot in less than a second and stab at Saber like fatal thorns. Caster screams. Even Archer has to dodge Caster's spell, but Saber is nullifying it just by glaring at it. Yet her focus is not Caster, her target. The opponent that she must slash is none other than the master, Soichiro Kuzuki. Saber slashes Kuzuki without hesitation.
Soichiro-sama.
Silence returns to the intersection. Saber is frozen after slashing her sword. Everyone here assumes the match is decided because of how quick the attack was. Yes. Everyone except Soichiro Kuzuki, who stands there calmly. Charge, halt, attack. Having repelled all of Caster's divine words, Saber concluded the match without any opening for a counterattack. The speed at which she charges, the force of her planted feet, and the horizontal line her sword draws brings an unavoidable strike. She swings her invisible sword at the enemy master. A perfectly timed attack. With a slash so satisfying that it would sever a large tree, Saber splits Soichiro Kuzuki in twain. No, it should have split him in 2. She gasps in bewilderment. Her eyes must be playing tricks. Saber stares at the enemy before her in astonishment, still mid-swing.
Bakana.
Comprehension eludes her. The fatal attack cut a perfect line. That attack is stopped. Just shy of the enemy's body, the sword was caught between. This guy, man. This guy right here. Is such a miracle possible? Her sword has been stopped by her enemy, Soichiro Kuzuki. Between raised knee and cocked elbow, the man stopped her high-speed slash by catching it in between his elbow and knee. Of course she is unaware. There's an Eastern martial arts technique that is used to catch an opponent's weapon with one bare hand. And there are experts today who still practice it. Even then, she wouldn't have stood there with naked amazement had it been a normal battle. But this is a servant battle, and the enemy is just a human. But to stop a fatal attack from a sword blade that cannot be seen with his bare hands? There's no way this man could possibly be sane. His voice is deep, as if echoing from the depths of the earth. Saber's body moves. She tries to pull back her sword with all her might. And in that instant... Oh! A sudden surprise blow strikes the back of her head. She doesn't understand what is going on at all. It is her first time fighting someone who can stop a sword without any arms or armor at all. Wait, was that attack done by his bare hands as well? She must have been punched. The back of her head was struck at such close range. She could feel her opponent's very breath. She avoids it without knowing what it is. Something grazes her temple. Saber perceives that it is a fist strengthened by some kind of magecraft and leaps back. As she wields a long weapon, she is at a disadvantage at close range against an unarmed opponent. Saber retreats to a range where she can make use of her sword. She faces the enemy the entire time. Her only goal is to move out of range advantageous to her opponent. It is a basic established tactic to pursue a retreating target, but he does not give chase. Though he will be defeated if he remains stationary. Caster's magic, or Caster's master, does not move. He strikes her at the solar plexus. The wind is knocked out of her. She feels the impact. The attack is hindered by her armor, which keeps the blow from piercing her body. The impacts continue. They are nothing more than human fists that precisely target her vital areas. But they're making contact too, though. Could she even comprehend in time? By the time she realized that those stone-like fingers were the cause of impact, the match had already been decided. Golly! Look at that. The rain of fists repeat. His fists are fired in rapid succession with an intensity and weight as if they are made of divine iron. How can it be explained? His arms are flexible like a whip but only move at right angles. If his arms are shot out in a flash, the way his forearms follow are the technique of a demon. The barely perceptible blows target all of her vitals. He allows no counterattack. Even her arms are targeted, and that pain reaches her core even through her armor. The attacks all come from the outside and shift inside. A wide swing of the arm changes direction using the elbow as the fulcrum, attacking Saber from all directions. The attacks are keen and cause dulling. Though not an instant death, each blow contributes to a slow-acting poison. That is the death that seeps in with each blow. Each blow cannot be avoided, and each strike alone is not enough to maim. But the pain numbs her mind each time. And with the opening from that, his fist seeks the back of her head once again, like the curling call of death's sight. Intuition allows her to avoid it. The attacks going for her arms or chest are fine, but if the back of her head is struck, she's done for. And so Saber concentrates her muddled mind on one blow. He's a beast that can block her sword empty-handed. I remember Saber telling Shiro that there was no way a human can compete against a servant, but I guess if the servant manages to empower the master, there's a chance. Intuition alone gives her the insight necessary to face the unknown style that she has never faced the likes of. The enemy's arm stops. His stance is like his fists, firm like rock. The man's body moves. What was different about this attack? Saber, able to avoid all fatal blows up until this point, could not evade the next one. Her consciousness fades. The impact landing on the back of her head shakes her brain. Even then, she raises both arms. The man's attack cannot penetrate her armor. Then, the man will go for her unprotected face. Saber raises both arms and protects her own face. The impact weaves past her limbs. It's like a snake that crawls through a dense forest. The enemy's fist expertly makes its way through her upraised arms. Her consciousness drifts. The body of the metaphorical snake, his left elbow hammers into her collarbone. Saber avoids it by retreating a short distance and adjusts the grip on her sword. Of course, the fist after that. She prepares for the blow coming from the left that will change direction at the elbow and aim at the back of her head. She cannot afford to make light of him. If her opponent demands her consciousness, then so be it. In return, she will claim his arms. She opens her eyes. And is astonished by the change. Using his elbow as the fulcrum, the blow comes straight down from above. The circular orbit of attacks up until now changed to a straight line. She immediately moves her neck to avoid the blow, going for the top of her head. This guy is always going for her head too, and she's always close to like getting hit too. Until now. The impact falls on her shoulder. As she glares at the enemy for wrecking her shoulder, a freezing sensation shoots down her spine. The man cocks his upper body. His right arm, still this entire time, finally moves. At the height of her throat, his arms is released like a cannonball. Unlike the previous attack following a downward line, this jab comes straight in like a thrust. His fist flies at Saber. With such force and precision, it will skewer her. The blow comes with all of his might and will easily pierce her throat, sever bone, and rip her head off. But it misses. Surprise attacks don't work on her. Intuition, like seeing the future, is hers to command. The snake's fist graces past her neck. God, she's so lucky. Seeing that, she steps in an attack, but at that moment... Oh! Spoke too soon. Right beside her neck. An unbelievable sound. The snake's fang pierces her. The instant Saber avoids his fist, his finger grabs her with a sickening crunch.
Aka!
The astonishment passes through her as a shudder. Yes, a hand is usually something used to grab, not punch. He must be receiving aid from Caster's magecraft as his fingers easily crush Saber's neck. Saber raises her sword. She swings to cut off the enemy's arm before her neck is crushed. But she's unable to finish her attack. Before she can bring her sword down, her entire body is swung like a sword in his hands. She feels herself fly through the air. He swings like a baseball pitcher. While still holding Saber's neck, the man throws her with one arm. A fastball using a person in place of a ball. There's no way she can break her fall. He tears away at her neck as he throws. She then smashes against a concrete wall at 200 kilometers per hour. Her body is forced to shut down. Well, damn. Everyone watches in astonishment. It's not just me and Tosaka. Even Caster, who ought to have been thrilled by a turn in her favor, stares at her own master in wonder. Saber's swift attack to Kuzuki's counterattack. From the nightmare-like neck grab to the impressive throw, it was all incredible, even to the losing side. Saber doesn't move. She was thrown by her neck and smashed back fist into the wall. Back first, sorry. Her neck injury must be fatal. On top of that, she hit the wall at the speed that was clearly meant to finish her. I don't think it killed her, but I'm sure she can't move. At the least, she'll be laying on the ground until the wounds in her neck and bruises all over her body heals. I murmur without realizing. Even though his fists were strengthened by Caster's magecraft, Kuzuki's body is still human. Who would think that he would be able to overwhelm a servant in melee combat?
マスターの役割は後方支援などと決めつけるのはいいがな。
The lean figure turns.
例外は常に存在する。私のように前に出るしか能のないマスターもいるということだ。
Hell yeah, I'm all for that. He just proved that to us just now. Therefore, these two are. Their fighting roles as master and servant are completely swapped.
何をしているキャスター。事前に言っておいただろう。
I mean, it makes sense for Caster because she's, you know, a mage. You know? Like, she needs someone like Kuzuki here to be the front man.
後方支援をするのなら敵の飛び道具は始末しておけと。
The enemy, Kuzuki, stares at Tosaka. Saber is less of a threat to him than Tosaka, who can attack at a distance. So Kuzuki is wary of targeting us. He feels that mages ought to battle other mages.
どうしたキャスター。好きにしていいと言ったが。
いえ、セイバーには私が手を下します。宗一郎、あなたは残ったマスターを。
He nods silently and walks towards us. Behind them, Caster faces the collapsed Saber.
ちょっとセイバーは面食らってやられたけど、あいつのネタは分かってる。要は近づかれる前に倒せばいいんでしょ。
Tosaka slowly retreats, glaring at Kuzuki. A fight between a mage and a warrior is a fight for distance. No matter how many monstrous fighting techniques he may have, Kuzuki has no magic resistance. We can win if we can land a hit at range. Victory is ours if we can manage to cast a spell before he reaches us. Kuzuki faces Tosaka and doesn't move. Caster walks towards the wall that Saber was thrown at. That action is a mistake. There's an opening I can take advantage of, so I'll... Normally, I would go for Saber. I really would. But, Kuzuki does not play games, and that dude is fast as all hell. I'll protect Tosaka. Saber isn't dead yet. Even if Kuzuki was an unexpected monster, Saber still hasn't lost yet. On top of that, Caster shouldn't be able to finish Saber off. I tighten my grip on the Bokuto in my hand. My eyes lock on Kuzuki to miss not even a blink. The moment he turns towards Tosaka, I move between them. Knowing Tosaka, I'm sure she's gonna leap to the side and shoot Kuzuki. There was no time to take action. It was in an instant. The moment I thought Kuzuki's body wavered, he was in front of Tosaka. Tosaka is astonished, but she immediately points her hand at Kuzuki. And the right hand of the enemy, the hand that wrecked Saber's neck, strikes her in the chest. Time seems to stop. All of the air in Tosaka's lungs goes out from that blow. This is it. If a mage can't breathe, they can't cast a spell, incantation, or carry out most of their abilities. Though as she just barely managed to leap back, it seems she only had the wind knocked out of her. But the next attack, even though she jumped back, it was only a meter or so. Such a distance is inconsequential to someone like Kuzuki. I move in between them. Using my wooden sword as a shield, I plant myself between attacker and prey. He thrusts his fist. I can't even see it. How did Saber dodge something like this? Well, she has high luck, man. I desperately protect my left side. A heavy striking sound follows, along with the sound of my sword snapping. I see Kuzuki coming with his next attack. I'm gonna die. Instinctively, I know it's coming. The strengthened wooden sword was the same as steel. If he can destroy that with one blow, then he can destroy my body no matter where he hits me. I can't stop him. Tosaka is coughing painfully behind me. I can't see his attacks, and my only weapon was destroyed. His fist aims precisely for my temple. Chiro Emiya will die from that hammer-like blow. I'll die if I don't stop it. A weapon. I'm no match for him. I need a strong weapon to make up for the difference in our strength. It closes in on my brain. I imagine myself dying. No, if that happens, I will end up dead if I can't stop it. A weapon. I need a weapon. A weapon that won't get destroyed by him. Not a wooden sword taken in haste, but a proven strong weapon. An extraordinary weapon beyond my ken. Yeah, like the ones he uses.
Torres. Oh.
Then I'll make them. I'll make them even if it's impossible. I'll make them at any cost. Strengthening and reproducing something that does exist and something that doesn't. I'll force myself to believe that they are exactly the same. I don't have time. I can't overthink it. Fake it no matter what. I don't care if I break or lose something in the process. Faster. I don't care if it's fake. Hurry. Forget it all. I'm not the only life at stake here. If I don't hurry, if I can't stop it, Tosaka will.
嘘。
A sight beyond hope. Tosaka speaks for me. A muffled voice. Was that Kuzuki? Something might have happened in my ears. I can't hear properly. No, not just my ears, but the sensation in my limbs is numb. Only my right eye is functioning adequately. I see Kuzuki approaching Fist. It's like watching someone else block it. My arms feel hollow. I don't have enough sensation in them, but I swear I can hear my nerves fraying. His twin swords are in my hands. The Yan Kansho and Yin Bakuya, the name of the swords. Even though they were reproduced haphazardly, the swords still present themselves to their owner. But I'm sorry, I can't project you perfectly with my skills. You better do it again quick. We spring apart. The twin swords that parried 30 strikes shatter, as if to say they can't take any more. It's not because they lost to Kuzuki's fist. The twin swords disappeared because I couldn't maintain my image of them. Shiro's like a mini Green Lantern. The twin swords must have been unexpected as Kuzuki shows hesitation for the first time. Then, a strong wind stirs up in the intersection.
Saber!
I look toward the wall. Saber must have recovered as she stands. Caster in front of her rapidly steps back. Yes, that's why it was a mistake. Just because she was defeated, it didn't mean that she lost her powers. So there's no way Saber with strong magic resistance could be cornered by Caster. It's Kuzuki's role to finish Saber off. Despite that, Caster made a mistake. She seemed to be planning something, but that excessiveness cost her the chance of victory. Kuzuki retreats. He stands protective of Caster, and as a ward against
こ
Saber,
こまでだ。引くぞ、キャスター。
he makes an apt decision.
マスター。いいえ、セイバーは手負いです。あなたなら先ほどのように。
Listen to the man, Caster. He's smart.
二度通じる相手ではない。侮ったのは私の方だったな。あと一芸手を凝らすべきだった。
Kuzuki's correct. Saber was cornered because Kuzuki's attacks were unnatural. But that was before. I wouldn't be able to deal with them no matter how many times I saw them, but Saber is already used to them. Tactics are supposed to be unknown to an opponent. Kuzuki's attacks are powerful, but since they are so unique, their exposure renders future attacks vulnerable. The first strike must be fatal. The difference between skills that have been polished to an art form, and a single move that has been trained to the utmost limits.
わかりましたわ、宗一郎。ええ、サーバントである以上、マスターの命令には従わないといけませんものね。
Who was that directed to? She spits in disgust and flutters her robe dramatically. There is nothing after that. After the indigo robe wraps around Kuzuki's body, they vanish from the intersection like magic.
やられた。いくらなんでもこうなったらクズキは竜道寺から降りてこない。
After casting Kuzuki disappear, without concern over her wounded chest, Tosaka grits her teeth in regret. I understand how Tosaka feels. At this point, Kuzuki won't come out of the temple. If we're to defeat Caster, we're gonna have to take the fight to them this time and make an attack on their territory. But Assassin is the gatekeeper at the temple, and Kuzuki and Caster are not opponents that can be defeated easily. We'll be defeated again if we just attack recklessly. Yeah, we have no other choice but to go to the temple if we want to defeat Caster.
リン、忠告しますが、あの寺はサーバントにとって鬼門です。アーチャーを動員したところで、力押しでは勝機は薄い。私だってあの山がどれぐらい変化ぐらい分かってる。悔しいからってすぐに追いかけたりしないし、あなたのマスターを強攻策になんか巻き込まないわ。ではキャスターを撃つのは諦めると。冗談。やられっぱなしは性に合わないし、何よりキャスターは放っておけない。そのあたりあなたのマスターも同意見だと思うけど。
She turns her gaze towards me. Saber follows Tosaka's lead and looks to me as if there's any question.
当たり前だ。いつまでもあの二人を放ってはおけない。キャスターは魔力集めをやめないだろうし、マスターであるクズキも止めないと言った。なら二人を倒すだけだ。 竜道寺にはアサシンもいるようだけど、キャスターのマスターであるクズキを倒せばことは済む。
そうね。クズキ先生がおとなしくレイジを消させてくれるとは思えないけど、とにかく取り押さえればなんとかなる。当面はこっちも作戦を立てるしかないわけだけど。
Then, I don't know why, but Tosaka suddenly...
それよりエミヤ君、さっきのは何？あなたの魔術って強化だけじゃなかったの？
She asks with a serious expression as if watching an enemy. I'm at a loss. The magecraft from earlier, is she asking about reproducing archer swords? Well, I'm also surprised I can do that, but it's not something that ought to earn me that look.
黙ってないで答えなさいよ。前に言ったわよね。俺が使える魔術は強化だけだって。
いや、そうだけど、初めにできたのが投影で、そっちは効率が悪いから強化にしろって教えられたんだ。あれ、こんなの言わなかったか俺。
I like how he innocently brought that up, like, wait, I didn't bring this up to you?
言ってない。頭にくるぐらい聞いてない。
Her glare intensifies. I really don't get why she's so angry with me.
じゃあ聞くけど、あなた投影魔術は今回が初めてじゃないのね。
ああ、そうなるかな。強化の鍛錬に失敗した時、仕切り直すためによくやってた。でもさっきみたいに役に立つものを投影できるわけじゃない。なんていうか、外見は似せられるけど中身は空っぽだったんだ。
中身は空っぽ？何？外観だけしか複製しないってこと？
いや、ちゃんと中身も考えてはいるんだけど、うまくいかなかった。だから自分でも驚いてる。イメージしたものは本物には及ばないんだけど、さっきのは真に迫ってたからな。
じゃあエミヤ君、あなたは強化より先に投影を習得したってこと？
習得っていうよりそれしかできなかったんだって。親父はそれじゃ何の役にも立たないから目先を変えて強化にしろって。
You know, I picture when he said that, I picture Shiro being left-handed, and then Kiritsugu being like, no, 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 you're writing with your right hand. He's like, you're so good at projection, but no, that's useless right now. You need to go just do strengthening instead.
そうね。私でもきっとそうさせたわ。でもおかしな話よね。アーチャーの剣をあれだけ長時間複製できるくせに普通のものは投影できない。属性が限られているのかな。汎用性はないけど、ある事柄に関してのみ優れた魔術師ってのもいるし。
She starts thinking out loud. Tosaka doesn't try to look at me.
とりあえず今日は帰りましょう。セイバーも自己回復に魔力を使ったようだし、休ませてあげないと。
She goes home by herself just like that? Huh. There's no one at home. The hallway's dead silent. My ears might still be screwed up as I can't hear my own footsteps. The numbness in my limbs won't go away, and I don't feel the ground under my feet. Surprised that I can walk in this condition, I head straight to my room without conversation.
Today's の鍛錬はなしにしよう。セイバーも疲れてるだろ。あんなひどい傷を負ったんだしさ。
Saber follows me to my room.
いいえ、私の方は問題ありません。回復のために魔力を消費しましたが、まだ十分に補えるレベルです。それよりシロ、あなたの方こそ体に異常はないのですか？
Oh yeah, he does.
いや、別に大丈夫だぞ。まだ手足が重いけど筋肉痛みたいなものだし、明日になれば楽になってるさ。
わかりました。ですが、もし体が痛むようでしたら声をかけてください。
ああ、セイバーこそ何かあったら起こしてくれ。夜分に腹が減ったんなら夜食でも何でも作る。
Oh, don't tempt her, dude. I can't provide Saber with magical energy, so the only thing I can do is make her food to cheer her up.
シロくれぐれも無理はしないように。